seriously, America is built on lies.
Well, the whole thing with slavery in the United States of America is that the reason that we have Independence Day and the Declaration of Independence is because the colonists wanted to be free. They were tired of being under the control of British rule. So I don't understand how people
Yet
who were
they had
tired and who
slaves?
wanted to be free could still have slaves and enslave other people.
Because they too lazy to do their own work, and then they didn't have the technology to work the fields and crops. So they said, oh, let me go steal some people, take them away from their country so I know they can't escape and they can't run away because they don't know what they're doing. Then I'm going to strip them of all their weapons, and then I'm going to separate them so they can't band together. So it's just going to benefit me.
But they couldn't have been really nice about it. Like, they could have said, oh, yeah, your whole family can come over
No,
to...
because then it would have been a rebellion, and then they wouldn't be able to control. Because to be completely honest, there was more black people on that plantation than it was, like, masters to keep them in control. So that fear is
That's
what
why
kept
they
them.
had to keep talking down to
And
them.
that's why they had to keep
had
selling them
keep
so they
whipping
couldn't
them.
be
That's why
together.
they had to keep beating them so that they could
Right.
instill that
And then they had to
that
make sure they
fear.
couldn't communicate, so they get somebody from a different tribe, like different tribes all mixed in one, to make sure they ain't about to bend together on me.
And if you notice, when technology came around, they all got together, and now look what happened. There was a big civil war. There was all this stuff. There was Rosa Parks. There was Martin Luther King, and now we're all kind of close to happier. Not getting...
We're
getting
getting
closer.
there. We're getting
We're
there.
more aware. Let's just say
Yeah.
that.
We're getting there. We're just not there. All the way there.
We'll never be all the way there.
I think we will.
I don't
that
think we
there's a
will.
day-
It's human nature. There's always going to be somebody who think they're better than the next.
I
Regardless
honestly
if it's
think
not
that
about
there is-
race, then it would be gender. If it's not gender, there will just
It's
be
gonna
something the
about
way you
clothing.
act. Yeah, it's
gonna be
always
about
something.
Who's
Well,
got
that
blonde
actually-
hair? Who's got brunette hair? Who's got this? Who's got that?
Oh, I don't like the way she's dressed. She's
I don't
this.
like her
she's
face.
that.
I like
Well, that
his
right there
perfect.
actually leads into another point that I was going to save later, but since we brought it up, we might as well discuss it now.
Let's do this.
Why do you think there is segregation? Because like you said, it's more than just black and white. It is more. Forget about if it's not black and white, then it will be this. There is segregation between races, genders, religion, people who have different sexual preferences, people who come from different economic statuses, different neighborhoods, and whatnot.
I mean, I don't completely understand why there is.
I would
but
say it's because of personality.
yeah, and the way you were raised, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, maybe I'm a little conceited, but I do look at myself in the mirror sometimes like, okay, I look nice, and then I go look at somebody like, oh, she is smacked. Oh my gosh. And then that simple comment can lead to, oh, I'm not going to talk to them because they're not as fortunate or they don't have a good genetic pool as I do. But then who's to say that I'm the better looking genetic person?
Right.
Like,
See,
somebody's beautiful to everybody.
the thing is, in high school, I would look down on other people. Oh my gosh, they look so not good and everything. And then I would say that to a friend, something's just wrong with them. And then somehow, I don't know how it got to them, but it would come back to them, and then it would come back to me. But it's like that telephone game, and it totally changed. And said I talked really, really bad about somebody, and totally did something different, slept with their dad or something like that. Like, I don't know how this stuff happens,
I
but
think the problem is people don't understand.
I
And
think
they don't
people
want to.
just
They don't
like
want to
make-
try to understand.
I think people just like to make drama so that they have something to talk about.
Yeah, like if you're like, what's the word? People with the black makeup and
Goth.
if you're gothic, I met gothics and they're really cool actually if you actually sit down and talk to them. And then if you're like, what's the word? Sadiddy.
Okay.
If people know what that means.
Uptight.
Yeah, pretty much. They don't want to try to learn about the other person. They just have this perception like, oh, they cut, they do this, or they're stuck up. They don't care, but they never try to understand each other. So that causes like make you feel like you're more superior than them, like they're not good enough because you never want to try to understand somebody.
We were having this same panel discussion about the same question on Martin Luther King Day for a Martin Luther King episode, and that's what one of our panelists said, because we don't understand each other.
That's what it is, I think. Because
We all are.
I
different.
actually
We all
sat
have
down.
different personalities, and that's what's gonna cause problems. There's too many different things. If we were all similar and we all did the same stuff, it would be no problem.
Well, that's
But
the
then
thing.
we wouldn't have any development either.
Well, here's the thing with that. Here's the thing with what I have to say about that. We are alike in so many ways, but we keep focusing on our differences. You know, we keep focusing on our differences. Like, I'm male, you're female. I'm black, you're white. I'm Christian, you're atheist. I'm this, you're that. A, B, C, and X, Y, Z. You know, but we don't take time to notice our similarities. We all need a home. We all need food. We
all
need
breathe
air.
air.
Right.
We need someone.
We
We
all
need love.
bleed red.
We
You
bleed
cut-
red.
And it's going to be the same color.
We have the same body functions, 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, a mouth, a head, a brain, a heart.
We all
everything.
live, we all die, but yet we're so focused on what's different. You never take the time. So that's where it all starts. Because they like, well, I don't want to try to get to know them, so I want to think I'm better than them regardless of what they think. So that's the problem. And most people want to say that segregation and racism or discrimination is gone today, and it's not. Just because it's not as open as it was before, it's still there.
We've been talking so much. I need to start eating this lasagna. So we'll be right back right after this. Wow, that lasagna was good.
My steak was not done.
I love my chicken.
Jaleesa, do you want me to go to the kitchen and talk
Nope,
to
they just want to get a tip.
I'd have to say.
No, I'll
my
tip the
chicken-
waitress but cuss out the cook.
Wow,
I love
be
my
nice.
chicken. It's
Be
just as good as
nice.
Chick-fil-A.
No, I'm not a very nice
Chick-fil-A,
person.
what?
Chick-fil-A has great chicken. This chicken would just taste like Chick-fil-A. It was amazing.
See, but you spent so much money coming here.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
this is another conversation for later, but right now, while I wait for my stomach to settle and I order dessert, we're going to move on with our next topic. We weren't actually going to talk about this because we had done it in our Dr. King episode, but since Jaleesa brought it up, I think we're going to talk about it anyhow. About this whole thing about stereotypes.
Stereotypes.
I hate stereotypes. I
Shouldn't use the
do.
word hate.
I do. Huh?
Shouldn't use the word hate.
Dislike passionately.
Amen.
I love people. I love everybody. But there are things that I hate, and stereotypes are one of them.
I don't fit the typical stereotype. Like, I don't want to fit a stereotype either. Like, majority, they're talking, oh, your generation, all they do is just get pregnant and don't go to college.
Okay.
I ain't got no.
1, I'm in college. 2, I've never been pregnant.
Thank you. I don't fit that.
I don't fit it
And
either.
I don't plan on popping out no kids no time soon. Matter of fact, I don't plan on popping none out.
We're not part of that stereotype.
There are so many stereotypes, though, for so many people, you know. It's more... And I hate how we classify it. I hate how we talk around it, you know. We don't call it stereotype. We call it, that's how I act, you know.
Oh,
The
don't
new
act
call
your
for-
color.
Yeah, the new thing for black stereotypes is you're acting black.
What is acting black? I'm brown.
My question. My thing is, there are a whole bunch of, now, despite whatever percentage of the United States of America that black people make up, there are still tons of black people in the United States of America. Not all of us act the same. I don't act the same as every black
You are
person
not the
I
same
know.
to
and
anyone.
Thank you, Susie. I don't act the same as every other black person I know, and every other black person I know does not act the same as me.
Ain't nobody
So
else in the
what?
world like me.
Uh-huh.
So I'm
Exactly.
like, excuse me, what's acting this? And then we always got the little stereotypical jokes, the little black joke, the little Mexican
You
joke,
know-
the little blonde jokes.
Amen. The blonde jokes. That's what gets me. I'm not blonde anymore. Can you
And
tell?
like, what things that kill me, the blondes, they always have to be a white blonde at that. And then, like, oh, you can't have the 3 Bs. You can't have the blonde hair, the boobs, and brains. And stuff like that. It's stupid. I think so.
Amen.
It is.
I've had blonde hair and boobs and brains.
I mean,
They might not.
I
all
dyed
be
my
there
hair
all the time,
blonde.
but I
That
got
didn't
them.
change my GPA. Blondes technically don't have more fun. I felt the same way after as I did before.
My question is, for a little kid who looks at this stuff, you know, for example, a little black kid who looks at himself being imaged this way in the media and in the culture, what is that going to have, what kind of impression is that going to have on him? what kind of impression is that going to have on a little kid who didn't necessarily grow up in the nicest neighborhood, but he didn't grow up in the poorest either, in the worst.
He don't know what to do.
He was taught to speak correctly, to wear his clothes properly, to pull his pants up, and to have
That's you,
respect for
Benjamin.
people. Huh?
That's you, Benjamin.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
And then he looks out in the culture and in the media, and he sees that all of the black people are being portrayed in this really degrading way. What kind of effect is that going to have on him? What is he going to think about himself?
Not only on him, but what about the people who come to America that they watch stuff that, like our shows, and they think, oh, I can go to America and act like that and
I
be
can tell
completely
you something
acceptable.
about that.
What's that, Susie?
My roommate is Russian. She came from Russia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's like, I took her to church once, and like we had a guest speaker, and he was talking about like missionary fields and like other places and stuff, and she's like, that's not how Christianity works, and I'm just like, whoa, calm it down there, calm it down.
But that's what they see, so...
And they're just like, it's just different. Like, it's like us looking at like
That's like
Iraq
me
or something
going
like
to
that.
China think everybody's still geishas.
Like, it's like going to Iraq or something and saying, oh, you all are like terrorists. That's wrong.
Right. And they're
Yeah.
more technological than we are. We're behind. Like, oh, you just now got the Wii? We had that like 6 years ago.
Amen.
So, like, we just think they, like, have no life. There's
Right.
nothing there. Like, we're so ignorant to their culture, and they're ignorant to our culture. Like,
I
they
feel-
come over here expecting this glorious thing and find, yeah, you probably would have been better off staying where you were. In some situations, not all. But I just don't like these stereotypes. Like, the stereotype of a model. I model. I am 5'4", 140 pounds. I don't want to be 6'2", 90 pounds, see my rib cages. I don't look at that as beauty. I don't think that should be the stereotypical form of America. Like, what kind of crap is that? I'm not about to sit
glad
here
I'm
and
fat.
starve myself to look like that. I like to eat, and I ain't skipping no meals for nobody. And if you don't like it and you think I should look like that, then maybe you need to go find you somebody like that, because that's just not me. And I'm not going to fit into anybody's stereotype as a model. I do step and all of that. Like, I do so much. You can't put me in one stereotype. You cannot mold me into somebody you want me to be, and I refuse to be that.
I refuse
Preach,
to-
sister, preach.
Just saying, like, it's so stupid. I hate when people change their, like, one friend, if you have a white friend, then they start speaking like, oh my gosh, or something like that. However their friend is talking, then they go around the black kids and then try to speak slang. Just be you. Don't sit here and try to morph into what you think their culture is. Just be you, and you'll be more accepted. That's the other problem when it comes back to discrimination and segregation, because I can't stand a person who don't act the same. Like, dang, I swear I was just with you the other day and you were completely
I have a problem
different.
with what you just said. Like, it's not really a problem, but it's something different. Like, with me, I've noticed something. Like, the culture around you, you start listening. It's like in your brain after so long. Like, my roommate, she says poo every time she messes up her like English. She goes poo, and after a while, I started saying it. On
No, I don't mean
accident.
that. You picked up on that. That's different.
Yeah,
After
see-
being around it. I'm saying the people who intentionally
Okay.
try to act different. Sorry, to try to fit in.
Oh no.
Like,
no.
oh, this is how I seen black people. So I'm like, hey, yo, what's good? Or, oh, this is how I see the white people on the TV. Like, oh my gosh, what's up? This is how I see the Mexican. Hey, yo, mommy, what's up? Like, when people do that, I don't like that.
Right.
That's just you trying to fit into a stereotype that's not even real.
Oh, we're
I
just
wouldn't
talking. Y'all come.
Oh, their waitress messed up my food anyways. They can just look away. I can care less about them right
Still
now.
like my chicken.
Love you all. Thank you. Yeah, we're just talking. Y'all can come talk with if you want. No, you're gonna walk away. Okay, fine, whatever. So let's move on here. Otherwise, we're gonna be in this restaurant till past they close.